Hey, what's going on, you guys? Have you missed me? I have been away for a little bit and I wanted to close up and give my reviews and kind of final thoughts on what's been going on with this class. So I am done with HUM-200 Applied Humanities, Dr. Susanne Weber. I shouldn't say Dr. Susanne Weber. I believe it is just Professor. However, I wanted to give my thoughts and kind of do it unscripted and really just give you some lowdowns on what I found after week two. So, first, we'll start with the grades as we always do. In case you don't know who I am Giovanni. I am a sophomore at SNHU online. I'm a working adult and I go to SNHU. So, why should you even care about listening to me? I have held a grade point average for the last 2 years. And so what I do is I share my insights of things that I've learned in the class so that if you decide you want to go to SNHU online, and specifically I'm studying cybersecurity, well, it's information systems with a focus on cybersecurity. And so I got an A in this class, and the last video I did was going over week two. And so I won't rehash that part. What I will say is once you start getting going in this class in particular will require a lot of reading because you are focusing in on three specific, in my opinion, three humanities that I don't know how it will apply in your later portions of your life, but it does give you an appreciation, for music and art. It does give you that appreciation. But for me, I took the class seriously, but I just felt like there was a lot of reading. Starting with week three, in week three, to be honest with you, in my opinion, week three was all focused in around the SOMO. So if you look at this and you see you like SOMO, okay, this is a book that it's like a ebook that you are required to purchase from the school. And this allows the teacher to be able to basically it goes through and it auto grades your work. So after week three, week four, the discussion post was an interesting portion on just kind of going over other disciplines and kind of comparing them. There was no real contrast to it. It was just a comparative portion, like a comparative discussion. I thought that was nice. Now, here is where you're going to start finding some stuff. Okay. This rough draft, I'm telling you, this rough draft right here, if you write papers often, this rough draft will be nothing in a sense new, but I will tell you what happens is you don't do this rough draft, for example, in like a Google document. Okay. You're not going to do that rough draft there. You are going to do this rough draft inside of the SOMO book. And what it's going to do is each part of it's going to be broken down. That was something I didn't care very much for, but maybe you will like that, but I didn't like for them kind of going through each particular paragraph, and that's really the way it's broken down. So just heads up on that. If you're a person who likes to really kind of construct your document from like a Google Doc or a Word doc and just kind of sit there and write and put your paragraphs together, kind of an old school way, that's not the way this is going to work. It's going to be very different for you. So just get yourself prepared. All right. Now, I'm going to go a little bit quick just because I don't think that you will spend a great deal of time in these other areas. You will have, in this case, you will have the SOMO learnings again, your discussion post, the considering your audience discussion post, where that really is going to come to play in for you is when you're really starting to consider who this paper is going to be for. And I just think that the way that this class was set up is it really held your hand through a lot of things. And I just felt like they could have given us a much better way to do, a much more flexibility is the best way I could say it. And I don't feel like they really gave us a lot of flexibility here. So you're going to be doing a lot of the discussion portion, and now you're going to go back into the book again. Then you're going to go back to the discussion post again, and you're going to be giving your thoughts on the impacts of humanities. I ended up going back and forth with one student or one of my peers in the class. We were just having this really good discussion on the impacts of humanity as it relates to cybersecurity. So you will focus here. Don't be alarmed if you kind of get into some heated battles here. There were some political things that were kind of thrown about in here as well. So just be aware of that part. Next big thing, week 6. So if you kind of notice a pattern, and we'll go back just a second. Part 4, then they give you 2 weeks. Then you're going to go into your part 1, your exploration document. Okay. This I wrote as if it were my final paper. And as you can see, when she said this, you know, on the final paper, I just wrote it as if it were the final paper, even though at this point you do this as your final paper. But I just felt like when I wrote this here, I only made small edits based off of what she gave me in the graded rubric. So I will say, when they start giving you these, okay, and they start kind of walking you through different things and they give you feedback in here, take it, because they're going to be looking for that information when you get back into your paper. Now, once you get done with that, now you're getting ready to do PowerPoint presentations, and you must have presenter notes, and it's going to walk you through. So let's say that you're a chatty person that likes to talk a great deal inside of your PowerPoint presentations. It will limit you to, let's say, 2 bullets or something to that nature. After all of that finished, the discussion post at the end was kind of giving. I do think this was the one part I wish that other classes would embrace, is what advice would you give to the next students coming in? I just thought that was well done. They kind of asked you specifically what advice would you give to the next humanities student? And that's where, if they were to actually present that information, I just think it would be well done in other courses. The presentation, when you get ready to do your final presentation, okay, this is where you get to, they're going to give you basically a PowerPoint, and you get to take that PowerPoint and really apply pictures to it, because you're going to do most of the work here in your presentation draft. And then she's going to give you feedback. And I was already ready with mine at the end, but I waited to get feedback. And when she just told me, like, hey, your stuff are here, your speaker notes are good, you're good to go, I made a couple of more edits to it and shipped it off. So overall, here's my thoughts on this course. It is a good course if you've never taken humanities at all in any shape or form. I do think that Humanities 200 is really a guided course. So you're really going to have your hand held through the course. If when you get this SOMO book, you're going to get your hand held. I do wish that there was a lot more ways of kind of diversity, things that you could do a little bit different outside of the book. And I think that when a course requires a book, that can be a bit much. But overall, I do think the course is good. In the grading system that I normally give, I'm going to give this course out of 5, okay? And 1 being a course that sucked, 5 being the best course that I've had. I would say that this is a 4. I would take this course again. I would prefer not to have the SOMO book, but in the case that I had to, I would do it again. So that's really it. I appreciate you guys listening to me. For those of you that are listening to the audio version of this on the podcast, I appreciate you just kind of going through with me. And I do have a new class now, so we are moving on from this, and we are now in our first kind of cybersecurity, if you will, class, and it's Intro to Computer Networks. So I'll have some content coming for that, but I just wanted to give a summary and get this out the door to you guys. So I appreciate you listening to me, and I hope that you have a great 4th of July here in the United States. That is this upcoming weekend. So please enjoy yourself, and I'll see you guys later.